What you are about to see is live, raw, real answers at roughly 10 p.m. to text message questions that I receive after our final service on Sunday nights at Mars Hill Church. What is your opinion of couples not kissing until marriage? Well, it doesn't hurt anything, does it? I'll give you a story from college since you asked. There was a friend of mine. He had never kissed any woman or man. We're in Seattle. I'll say both. And I remember in a philosophy class, he was arguing. It was a rhetoric and debate type of class. And he was giving his argument as a Christian, and I was a brand new Christian, for why he, though engaged, was not going to have any sexual contact with his wife, and the first kiss would be on the altar with his wife. And everybody snickered and laughed and like, that's crazy. And one guy rose his hand in the class. There's always one frat guy in the back, you know. And he said, well, how do you know if she's any good? His answer was brilliant. He said, if I've never touched a woman, how will I know if she's bad? He said, if you've never touched a woman, any woman's pretty good. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. You say, this is the best I've ever had. Right? So, what's the harm? And I know some of you are like, that's crazy. I'm not saying that if you're engaged and getting married, that kissing is a sin. But, doing a lot of other stuff is a sin. But, I don't know. I didn't make it. I'll just come clean with you on that. Grace and I were sexually active till I became a Christian, and then we had to repent and stop. Cold turkey. And then we got engaged and went through premarital counseling and got married, and now we have 5 kids. So, had I to do it over again, I wouldn't have kissed any woman until I got married. So you say, that's crazy. You know what? I wish until I was married I wouldn't have done anything. That's my biggest regret. Now, some of you, it's too late. You've already done sin as I did. Jesus forgives you. Go and sin no more. But for those of you who are still clean and pure, hey, great. Keep it going. Praise be to God. If you're going to err on the side of holiness, the last thing you want to do is marry somebody and they're really, really, really good. You're like, where'd you practice? Come on, I just deliver the mail. I don't write it, and I'll tell you this too. Here's another story. I'll tell you people's stories without using their name. A friend of ours was recently married who's quite a bit older, never kissed anybody, never had any sexual activity of any sort or kind, in their 40s. And for some of you, like, 40? People live that old? Yes, some do. Those who exercise do. And it's been really cool. Even though they're in their 40s, they have no experience at all. Can you imagine how special their spouse feels? You waited 40 years for me? You didn't touch anybody in an inappropriate way? You waited for me? Do you think that builds trust? Well, if you can wait 40 years, you'll be faithful to me because you have self-control. And secondly, if you're kissing me or touching me or enjoying me, it's because you really love me and you've waited for me. There is a trust and an intimacy that comes with purity. There just is. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Is it a sin to kiss if you're engaged? No, I wouldn't say that. But Song of Solomon says repeatedly, do not arouse or awaken love till it's time. Why start something that doesn't have as its conclusion what you're really going to enjoy anyways? Don't get started till you're married. Then get started and just enjoy one another. Sometimes the problem with kissing and making out stuff is this. You get all excited and you can't do anything. It's very frustrating and it leads to less than satisfying results.